In this diagram here, we are trying to investigate the effect of Q on the graph of, let's see the equation of the graph. The equation of the graph is f of x equal to 2 over x. So we're trying to investigate what will happen if I change the value of Q around. As the graph stands now, the value of Q is 0. Okay, so let's see what happens if I change the value of Q from 0 to 1. Okay, what I see happening here is that the curve is shifting up by 1 unit, and while the curve is shifting up, I also notice that the asymptote is also shifting up from y equal to 0 to y equal to 1. If I change Q from 1 to 2, what happens is that the curve shifts up by 2 units. I now have my asymptote at y equal to 2. So the same thing will happen if I change it from 2 to 3. The graph will shift up by 3 units. So let's go back to Q equal to 0. Okay, now my asymptote is at y equal to 0 and the graph has not shifted. What happens if I make Q negative 1 now? So what happens is that the curve has shifted down by 2 units, or I mean by 1 unit. So the value of Q is equal to negative 1, and the value of the asymptote there it is Q equal to negative 1 on your left hand corner. And then if I make Q equal to negative 2, the graph will shift by 2 units down, and the value of Q is now negative 2. And if I shift it further to the left, the value of Q, the graph will obviously shift further down. So what we notice here is the following. Number 1 is that Q represents the vertical shift. So that means the graph either shifts up or down. And next is that the graph shifts by Q units, either up or down. And lastly, the Q is the equation of the horizontal asymptote for the graph.